Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to another recording of Hearthstone. Today is Monday, September 17th. Hearthstone wants you to spend, I think it was about $25 cheering for the Hearthstone Global Games 2018 on Twitch to unlock a card back and several packs. It's not a great deal. Might be a slightly better deal than just buying the card packs directly, but it is not a good deal at all. And all the bits, which are actual real world currency that you cheer, only half of that actually goes to the team you're cheering. The other half goes directly to Hearthstone. We're on the European account, so I need to trade something. We have a priest and priest here. Let's just trade this because winning is always a problem. So weapons, priests, and mage and shaman. Let's start with the mage and shaman and just see if there's possibly something. Like, neither the mage nor the shaman are going to have combo cards or priest cards. We were playing token shaman before, so let's stick with this. So, last recording, I had a bit of an epiphany. I'm going to just take a vacation and try to re-establish my perspective in a couple different ways. One way is I'm going to experiment with just muting PC Gamer and any other real, pretty much all the news sites that I follow on Twitter, the news stories I've been covering. We're just not going to do it anymore. They're almost 100% not news in one of two categories. Either they are hyping up a game that I either will never see because it's not coming to Steam, or I'm just going to see in some amount of time in the future when it does come out on Steam. And so I could just be surprised by games that come out on Steam. And I'm not going to miss giant games like Rise of the Tomb Raider. Like, that information will still definitely come out. I'll see at least ads on YouTube for those giant games. And I don't think I'm really going to miss any games. I just may be surprised sometimes to say, oh, Rise of the Tomb Raider is out. But I'm usually surprised by that anyways because I don't remember the release dates that are said anyways. So no more hype articles. We don't need them. The other bit of not news that is the vast majority of what is on Steam, what is on PC Gamer and other sites, is things that are just not anything. It's just SJW articles. It's like third wave feminist articles, SJW articles. I don't even know how much of it is feminism and how much of it really is SJW, because it really is, for the most part, just all feminism and nothing else. And these are articles that are being formed and forming the narrative out of basically nothing, and there's no resolve to them, and it's not really going to do anything. As I think about it, job listings are just going to be an unfortunate loss there, which is fine. That'll save me some time. And obituaries, when people die, are going to be a bit of an unfortunate loss. I may just keep GameIndustry.biz and Gamasutra for that. Gamasutra is a little SJW in their articles, but they don't publish, like PC Gamer does, the same article 3 different times and push it out on Twitter. So the idea is to shift my perspective and just be like, I'm not even going to listen to these people. I'm tired of, I'm tired of listening to them. And I'm tired of repeating what they're saying to just criticize what now I've had enough of. And I'm imagine that other people have hit this point a lot quicker than I have. So for the most part, it's just going to be games on Steam. The other thing is I'm also thinking still, I think I'll make it to the end of 2018, but I'm thinking that I'm also going to try and realign the games I'm covering, particularly how much I'm playing Hearthstone, with what I actually would want to play. There was a twist at some point here where, in an effort to get more views, I was playing Hearthstone. I started playing Hearthstone a lot more than what I wanted to play Hearthstone, and that needs to be realigned down to it. And I also need to really think about the games that I want to play, and am I playing this game because I want to play it, or am I playing this game because I just want to fill in the time slot? And so time slots, I very well starting in 2019, I may just have 2 games airing on my channel on a weekday things. I may very well just also take a break for 2019, so I have a ton of content ready and scheduled for 2020. And maybe make a bigger push after a year of getting content ready to go. And I'm open to feedback that way, but also I'm also aware that a lot of the feedback is just, no, just play more games, play the games I want to play. And a lot of it will just simply be exhaust yourself. But I also don't want to just be like so many other YouTubers who's like, I'm taking a break, no content is coming out. That's not my goal. That's not something I would want to do. I want content to still come out. I just want it to be a little bit more enthusiastic about the content I'm making, and a little bit more realistic with the content I'm making.
We must cleanse the Sunwell.
So yeah, that's where my head is at. It's a weird position too. If I do build up enough footage so 2020 is ready to go, that would be great, because honestly, I need a bit of a break right in the fall, and that's right when video games are coming out the most. Like, I personally, for seasonal affective disorder, which maybe I actually have, maybe I don't, but I certainly feel it in the fall when it's darker and the days are shorter. I'm just not as energetic, just not as happy. So, and that's kind of typical for a lot of people. The fall would be the time, like right now would be the time where I'd like to take off from this point to January and really just be in minimalistic mode, just live streaming Hearthstone and maybe recording a game every now and then. Not where I am right now, where I am struggling just to get the October month out. October month, I think, has to say, there's too many horror games that come out still, but November month really could be minimal effort or minimal content, if so. So what I'd like to do is be a year ahead. I've said that before, but it's been something that has been a failed desire for a while. But yeah, being a year ahead and just, or even 6 months ahead would be so good. So I could say, alright, I'm in a low production mode for the fall, and then when January runs around, I get back into high production mode, and there was enough of a buffer there to get it to work well. So that's where my head is at. That's what I'm thinking. Little bits of motivation could come in the form of Patreon, certainly. If this channel was more financially viable, then a whole bunch of issues stop being issues as much. Let's see.
Shall we make a storm?
Let's see what I want to do. It's probably not the right move. So we've got a game on Steam called Hacker.exe, which honestly I think there's been at least one game called Hacker.exe before on Steam. It's 40% off for $8.99. It looks like garbage. I'm trying to cover these games quicker, so I'm just going to go ahead and close it right now. This will be the last stream in which I cover PC Gamer for this break period, but I still do have some articles, and it would be kind of silly to just close the articles after I spent the extra effort. That is, I suppose, more of a continued issue where the
don't have enough mana. Woven.
What was I gonna say? I've lost my mind clearly. Yeah. I'm gonna stop covering PC Gamers. Oh, yeah. What I was gonna say is, it's an issue right now just scrolling before I start streaming through my Twitter feed, and by having less things appear in my Twitter feed, that should also help with that, because I really am spending 10-20 minutes every day going through a Twitter feed at minimum, just scrolling down everything, making sure I saw everything. Whereas there kind of needs to be a faster, better system. I need to find a way to optimize this. Clearly, if I had another employee, I could just throw their time at this, and then they would be the one in charge of getting all the news and feeding it to me. Anyways, PC Gamer has an article. Treyarch promises to stop team killing in Black Ops 4 Blackout Battle Royale mode. Currently, you can kill an ally and grab their loot. So it's a little surprising that you would even get to a beta point and not allow do something to at least discourage team killing. Of course, what is it? His name? Big Money Salvia from Internet Comment Etiquette's YouTube channel. His long-running joke is that he plays Call of Duty something or other and team kills and gets kicked off and plays it badly to irritate people. So I guess he won't be able to do that in Black Ops 4 Blackout, which I think is fine. He'll find somebody else, some other way to team kill, and just be the traditional terrible exaggeration of a terrible player in Black Ops. Let's see, why am I on a... Okay, I guess YouTube probably retweeted Lazy Gaming Reviews YouTube channel, where he was, I think, capable of plugging in a USB floppy disk into his Android phone and then loading up, I think, Doom on some kind of emulator. It's kind of surprising that there is even a floppy disk that's USB controlled. It seems like he's playing Commander Keen, though. He's not playing Doom. Alright. An even older predecessor to the Doom series. And he's using DOSBox, of course. Yeah, nothing really stopping or amazing about that. Like, you're not even really doing some low-level hardcore programming when you're running a pre-compiled APK of DOSBox on a pre-compiled operating system of Android to run a pre-compiled version of Commander Keen. Like, all of those problems have long since been fixed. All the little bugs, all the little tweaks. I think Lazy Game Reviews also had one where you got Doom in some form or factor to run on a TI-84, which is probably slightly more difficult because you'd probably have to reprogram it from scratch, or
Job's done.
Or I don't even. Yeah, you pretty much have to reprogram it from scratch because I doubt a TI-84 is just running standard x86 compiler code. It's a much bigger project to build something like a RetroPie if you get into the nitty gritty bits of it, where you're very specifically modifying settings and changing settings and changing just how the underlying Linux operating system on RetroPie is working. Of course, you really don't need to do that for 99.9% of people. Moving on, we have a game called Egg Hunt on Steam. It looks like it's a cell phone port of a standard jump and platformer. Bad game. 99 cents. Close the tab. I think that's going to become a new key phrase for me, is close that tab. Just very quickly encouraging myself to not go and look and see if this developer's made anything else, not being mushy in the middle about decisions. Enough games come out, it's time for me to just be harsh and a little bit quicker to judge bad looking games and just be done with them. Because in the end, the vast majority of games are rejected from even my wish list. The vast majority that are on my wish list will never get purchased. So we're really just spending too much effort to get the cream off the crop. The cream of the crop when we really don't need to. Alright. This. This. And let's see, 1, 2, 3. Play that. And that. And that. PC Gamer has an article. Valve adds Dota 2 ranked roles queue for Dota Plus subscribers. It was one of the community's favorite features of the International 2018 Battle Pass. So, what are ranked roles matchmaking queues? It lets players pick a specific role that they could stray from before they jumped into a game. That they couldn't stray from before they jumped in the game. The queue is now being added to Dota Plus, the game's subscription-based service. In ranked roles, each player picks a role, support, mid lane, safe lane, etc. before queuing the match. The matchmaker will then put 5 players together so that each team has 1 safe lane, 1 mid lane, 1 off lane, and 2 support players. This ensures more balanced, structured games in which you rely on your teammates to do their job. If you stray from your role, you can be reported by your team, but I reckon most players using it want to take it seriously. Valve didn't say in its blog post whether ranked roles is a permanent or temporary addition to Dota Plus. So, yeah, And as somebody who has never played Dota, even I know the phrase "stay in your lane," and the fact that they're now making a way to make sure that people who will stay in their lane, well, Dota didn't invent the phrase "stay in your lane," but I know that it's used in Dota and League. So I imagine Dota players are going to be very happy with this ranked roles queue, but they need to change its name to something else, because that's not a descriptive name. Not descriptive at all.
Speak your piece.
Whoops.
Let's see. Tech Raptor? I don't think I'm gonna mute Tech Raptor, because I just don't put out enough articles for it to matter. Tech Raptor has an article, Dark Narrative, The Sorrow of Widow Moira, M-O-I-R-A. Let's see. This is part of a continuous series, apparently. When did this game come out? Because it doesn't look like it's amazingly brand new.
Reality.
Yeah, this is a article about the game Thief. I think I've actually fallen for this article before too. So they're just talking about the game Thieves. They're not even talking about a new game. Alright. TechRaptor has another article. Ninja Clash of Carrots Review, -24 karat gold. I saw a Giant Bomb playing this game and spotlighting it. They've started doing spotlights again, like extremely late into the year. So I don't know where that breaks down. What do you do then? Are you are they trying to build up for an end of the year content or what? But they're 9 months into it, so 3/4 of the way into the year, and they really haven't covered anything in the first 9 months. Not a lot. Which that's just no way for a CBS funded company to cover video games. Give it 2 or 3 years and Giant Bomb won't cover any video games at all. They'll call themselves some kind of lifestyle channel, which is more and more what it's just working itself down to. Anyways, TechRaptor gives Ninjin, N-I-N-J-I-N, Clash of Carrots a 9.0 amazing. I wasn't really impressed with it. Its pros are cathartic, satisfying combat, deep customization, strong, witty writing, great game design. Cons, it's occasionally too chaotic. So, what I saw of the game really didn't catch my eye. It looked like you were just always running to the right of the screen and shooting things in a crazy, chaotic way, and that's what the trailer is showing me too. But it's 100% positive right now of 15 user reviews. So I don't know. I guess I'll put this one on the wish list. It probably already is.
I wonder.
But I'm still... It feels like it's a lot of arcadey hack and slash, chaotic bullet hell-esque experiences. If you were to mix all of those elements in some way.
A minion with taunt is in the way.
I'm slowly wearing him down. It almost feels like Ninja should also be like a cell phone game for all the collectibles. But I'll put it on the wish list. I'll vow to the 100% positive 15 user reviews and try it out. See if maybe we could get 50 user reviews on it before I would really be solid. That certainly will be a question, is just how much do I want to believe user reviews for games when there's only 10 of them. Moving on, we have a game called Escape the Labyrinth, which suffers from dark screenshot syndrome and a poor UI, so looks like garbage. It's $9.99 with no user reviews. And see, this would be a game where I would click and see if it was the first game from this developer. It is, but I really don't even need to do that. I need to just close the tab. My new slogan, apparently. Let's just play this.
Job's done.
Next, we have a game called Thick Light 2. Thick Light 2 is the second part of the exciting casual game in which you overcome several labyrinths and escape from the guards. So you're a square in a black and white maze. Your square puts out some rays of light that show, I guess, what? Let's see, this one is positive at 12%, 12 user reviews for both the original and the sequel, which the original came out July 21st, so this feels like vote manipulation. This doesn't feel like it's a good game at all, even at 60 cents. So, yeah. I'm not willing to believe the 100% reviews on this one because it just looks so visually awful and simplistic. So I'm closing Thick Light 2. Let's see. Eurogamer has an article, hands-on with the Subor Z, SUBORZ-plus, an AMD tech tested in a new Chinese console of some sort. They're talking about Chinese console though, so nobody's ever going to get that or play it. Maybe not even in China, considering how they're restricting video games over there. Gamatsu, the one place I won't mute, because they just generally, well, they do have a lot of hype articles. They don't editorialize, really. Their only real editorial bent for Gamatsu is that they are pro-Japanese games and more focused around that. So they have an article, Kiniro no Korda, that's KIN''IRO space NO space Korda, CORDA, Octave, launches for the PS Vita, Switch, and PC February 14th in Japan. It says it's a love simulation series, so I imagine it's a dating visual novel game. Yeah. And do I really need to watch any of the trailer? Nothing, it's just a bunch of guys. It's probably... It's either you're playing as a female character going after these several different guys, or you're playing as a male character going after these several different guys. I don't see a single female in the entire story. That is one issue, or maybe not an issue, depending on whether you want that or not. It is one thing about a lot of these visual novels that are romance novels, is that there tends to not be multiple genders depicted. If you're playing as the male character, you're off screen and you see nothing but female characters. If you're playing as a female character, you're off screen and you're seen as a male character. That might be a good trick for self-immersion. I don't think this is going to work. But you don't have... They don't bother to spend any time to like write some characters that are not romantic options, usually. And Honeypop did the same thing. It's like, Yeah, you're playing all with all female characters in Honey Pot. So at this point it becomes more of a time-tested and time-honored tradition than something they complain about or worry about. I'm looking at a terrible looking game on Steam called Space Cowboy. It's $2.99. It's a vertical shooter with black bars on the side, so we can close that tab pretty quickly. PC Gamer has the best first-person shooters games. So let's see what they've got. Oh, this is a long list. It's like the best single-player first-person shooters go to this page. The best single-player first-person shooters go to this page. There's 5 pages here designed just to make you look at ads, but I have ad blockers, so they're saying like Titanfall 2, Bulletstorm, No One Lives Forever, and Metro 2033. They're just going to list everything. Bioshock, Stalker, Call of Prepat. I guess I need to, at this point, exit. Let's see, are we having any problem with the internet? No, I don't think so. So it's just Hearthstone having problems with the internet.
Welcome back.
Still trying to get one mage or shaman victory. Let's play mage instead. Also want to get one more victory so I get to at least rank 20 by the end of this month. Fear, Far Cry 4. This list they could put out every time there's a new first-person shooter. Devil Daggers, just Wolfenstein: The New Order. Every time there's a new first-person shooter, they can just republish this list. And this list is useless. It barely has a paragraph explaining why each of these games are different or why these would be the best first-person shooting. And there is a real question of, should you really decide to play a game just because it's a first-person shooter? Because that's not really a good descriptor. It's basically the equivalent of somebody saying, I want to play Monopoly because it's a board game, or I want to play checkers because it's a board game. Like, first-person shooters are the equivalent of the fact that it is a board game. It's not the equivalent of the fact that they are all the same, they have the same rules, they play the same way. There's a vast difference between playing Monopoly and checkers or chess. So I'm just going to close this article. And another not news article from PC Gamer. More reason why I am just ready to stop listening to them and mute them. I may have to come back at some point and unmute them, but I think this vacation from listening to mainstream video game media will be actually very successful, I'm hoping. Moving on, Your Gamer has an article from GTA 5 to Zelda. I love a game with a day-night cycle. What was funny on this one was they were putting out a picture of Crackdown 2, which arguably is one of the worst day-night cycle things in games ever, when they tweeted it out, because Crackdown 2's night cycle was just an excuse to add zombies to the Crackdown universe for no real reason. Like, there was not a good explanation, well, there was an explanation, but no good reason to add zombies to that world. And so yeah, it was just a bad decision. Hopefully Crackdown 3 is a lot more like Crackdown 1 than Crackdown 2, if Crackdown 3 ever comes out. I mean, it is in development hell at this point. Next we have a game on Steam called Hinta Hexa Mosaics, which is just hex-shaped mosaic slide puzzles to show like, I don't even know if these are actually anime girls in the background that you're sliding. Like I am. It doesn't really look like that at all. Let's see, 20 achievements, 40% off for 59 cents. I think they have jumped the point now where they're not even putting stolen art and anime girls in the pictures. Now I think they have just straight up decided to just use the word hentai as meaning nothing. Wow. Wow. So it has 10 levels in it. Well, close that tab. Next we have a game called Puzzle Monarch, which is another mosaic puzzle game. At least this time it's just mummies, pictures of mummies that seem to be the same picture of mummies, perhaps. 15 levels in this. Another garbage game, 40% off for 59 cents. Close that tab. Maybe we'll shorten that phrase to just close that. Okay. Moving on, PC Gamer has an article. Democracy 4 announced politics in video games. Who ever heard of such a thing? The funny thing here is there's a further story that Democracy 4's advertisements on Facebook got flagged for being political ads and thus taken down. Democracy 4 will be available in 2019. Doesn't seem to say what games it will be, what consoles it will be on, though. Like, I'm not sure I'd want to play any of the Democracy games, just because there's a lot of room for frustration and also just disagreement upon whether or not the things that they say would have happened based on your actions would really happen. I'm just gonna freeze these. Yeah, Democracy 4 looks like it's basically a one-screen game with a bunch of webbing and levels that you have to click on and upgrade. And you know, it's a micromanagement game. It kind of might be fun to play. So maybe I should go look and see if Democracy 1, 2, or 3 is on Steam and put them on my wish list. Of course, just searching the word democracy is not going to be good enough. Democracy 3 on Steam has mixed reviews, 68% positive of 50 user reviews in the last 30 days, whereas 73% of 5,037 reviews over its lifetime. So what went wrong in the last 30 days to make it people not like it? Crashing on Windows 10. Okay.
What to do? What to do?
I guess that would certainly be a problem.
Let the pain speak to me.
I should play this earlier.
An incredible discovery.
Job done.
Yeah, it's crashing, it's crashing, it's crashing, it's crashing. And then also some really expensive DLC.
Santa's dingo. Yes.
So maybe Democracy 4 is an attempt to just get away from Democracy 3, which seems like it's a crashy mess full of DLC. Or maybe it's an attempt to sell more DLC again. Interesting.
I wonder.
Alright. 4 damage to everybody. This. And
Bring
that.
pain.
And that.
Someday I'll be just like you.
Then in the turn. Well, apparently Democracy 3 Africa's is a side game. Also, this developer made Big Pharma and Red Shirts, or published these games. In fact, it's a weird, and Shadowhand too. It's a real weird combination. Democracy 2, on the other hand, is also available on Steam. So I don't know, I guess maybe 4 would be the right point to jump into the game.
I wonder.
Yeah, Democracy 2 also has mixed reviews. So, yeah. I'm not seeing a lot of evidence here that tells me this is the...
Someday I'll be just like you.
Darn it.
Me? I found it first. I found it first.
I'm about to lose. So I guess that leaves me mostly with the feeling it's like I would like to play a game like Democracy where you're a government simulator, inventory manager type game, micromanagement type game, but probably not Democracy 4 because it hasn't been done well. Let's try it again. We have a game on Steam called Puzzles by Axis Hyper, which is weird because the developer is called Cubic Bit and so is the publisher. This looks like it's a one-screen
burns with holy fire.
You asked for it.
Unity puzzle game. It has a little bit of a polish on it, but what it looks like is pictograms on the 3D environment. So you're seeing cubes, you're seeing other shapes, and on the edges of the shapes you're seeing items that are hints about whether the cubes are supposed to be different colors like blue or orange or gray, and you're probably supposed to solve it. There was an old piece, a DOS game called Sherlock that was basically this game, although I'm not sure that's very helpful to anybody to say, oh yeah, this is that game Sherlock that nobody remembers.
Job's done.
Let's see, how much does this game want? 8 achievements, 15% off for $1.69. I'm gonna be generous, and I'm gonna put this game on the wish list because it looks like it is doing the same thing. There's another game called Puzzles by Axis that came out February, but it's the same game, isn't it? Or a very similar game. And they want $5 for that.
What to do? What to do?
No. They unsold me on Puzzles by Axis Hyper by the fact that it's supposedly the hyper version of the other game. Yeah, I was about to put it on the wish list and they unsold me on it. TechRaptor has an article. Let's see. Battlefield 5. Well, the beginning of this article says Kek Raptor, K-K Raptor, colon, Battlefield 5 to feature rework profanity filter. Kek's is, I think, a meme. It's part of the meme of the people with the rare Pepes. I imagine a lot of the SJWs would say anybody who is joking and saying that they using the word Kek or Kekistan, their own fictional country, is a alt-right neo-Nazi. I'm not enough into it to know or say much of anything on that, really.
Unravel.
But best as I can tell, it's just a bunch of trolls. But Battlefield 5's profanity filter is pretty terrible right now, because it is filtering out terms like, quote, white man, end quote, DLC, and the phrase sense of pride and accomplishment. So yeah, there's some real insanity going on as far as what's getting filtered. And I don't think Battlefield and EA are gonna go down on this and change their mind. I think they're just gonna make the filter more things and more things until the point we can't even say.
How long can this go on? How long can this go on?
Reporting for duty.
Let's see. I almost think this article might be a joke article, frankly, because they're saying that the new filter will be dubbed the Profanity Negotiation and Easy Integration System, or pro-Nazi, is for sure, where they're getting the Z in there. It'll feature state-of-the-art software straight from China and Russia to examine the context behind whatever you type in the chat to determine if it can be deemed offensive to someone.
An incredible display.
Yeah, this feels like this is a joke article. This really feels like a...
Should I?
This really feels like it's a joke article. So... yeah, it says at the bottom, Kek Raptor is a semi-regular satire series. You can read more of them here. They really, for a news article site, need to put at the top that this is satire, because reading this entire article and not getting to the bottom, as many people might, like I was believing this, and Battlefield almost certainly will have a improved in some way profanity filter in their new version. So yeah, muddying the water by your satire. One thing I think is a bigger issue to talk about EA is how EA just makes garbage games, and they have since, like, I think 2011 Dead Space 2. Like, as a person who's just played Dead Space 2, and you start to see, yeah, there was a lot of DLC in that, and it was really greedy, And then you look in 2018 and you see where EA is now, and it's just all greed, and it's all DLC, and it's all microtransaction. And when I think about how awful EA's press conference at E3 was, like it totally is right into that line of just being not good. Not good quality product. And I guess a lot of people already knew that. It's just taking me a little bit longer. Moving on, we have a game called The Great Voyage visual novel. Like, what do we call this? As far as the animation goes, I don't even know what you call this. It's just bad, kind of jagged, pixely graphics. I wouldn't even really say it's pixely, as it's just lower resolution than it should be. Let's see. If I can do this,
Reality.
and then do this.
Job's done.
I'll still lose. Like, it looks like this is good quality MS Paint level graphics. It's basically all I can say for it. It's not bad MS Paint, but it's if somebody only had MS Paint and zoomed in really close and animated something, and then zoomed out really far to animate the whole character, and they were doing high resolution MS Paint drawing, that would be about all I can say. But I'm still very much struggling to find a term that it, instead of just calling everything in Western animation style, because there really is no Western animation style. Maybe I need to draw a line and say just the things that look like they are anime inspired Western anime style. I call them that. TechRaptor has an article. The Steam version of the Capcom Beat 'em Up bundle has been delayed. This again is another article that probably I'd be fine not seeing.
None can escape my fury.
The tweet from Capcom USA is weird. We'll have a new date for Steam. Please have patience. The other releases are coming out on schedule. So why would the Steam version be delayed? Probably because I would guess it was always going to be delayed. And this is just a good way. If you say everything's coming out on the same day in the first press release, you don't get a bunch of backlash on that first press release. Then you can have 2-3 weeks down the line, you can say, oh, unfortunately, due to things beyond our control, the Steam PC version is going to be delayed, even though you knew it was going to be delayed always, and you wanted it to be delayed so you could get more sales on console and more of a cut possibly on console. I wonder if maybe selling on the Switch or the Xbox or the PS4 actually does give you a bigger cut than the 30% that Steam takes. It might. PC Gamer has an article, overlooked RPGs that are worth playing today. I guess I kind of wanted to look at this, but I also feel like this is just the exact same article from like 2 weeks ago. They just keep publishing the same articles over and over again. Yeah, this is.
What to do?
More and more, the more I think about it, PC Gamer has just got to go. I've put up with them way too long. Way too long. Their little shenanigans on their opinions on SJW topics, ignoring that completely. Just their constant re-releasing of articles that they had written before is just unacceptable. It's repetitious and annoying. And I want to be less repetitious and annoying, and I want to have less repetitious and annoying people in my life. We have a game on Steam called Into the Fray. They say it's a fast action shooter in the vein of Doom and Dark Messiah using fast combat. Is that really what this is though? This looks like it's a top-down RPG game. Top-down like twin-stick shooter. The graphics look a little bit different than an RPG Maker, so I wouldn't label it as an RPG Maker style, but it doesn't particularly look great either. Yeah, looking at this game, it says its early access is 15% off for $6.79. It's just not visually appealing enough. And for that reason, I'm going to skip it. Like, let's see. There. GameIndustry.biz. I don't think I'm gonna have to mute them. They don't put out enough articles for it to matter. They have a UK charts : slow start for Tomb Raider as Spider-Man reigns supreme. Let's see. Shadow of the Tomb Raider's week 1 sales are 25% higher than its predecessor's 2015's Rise of the Tomb Raider. However, Rise was an exclusive to the Xbox platformers at the time, whereas Shadow is a full multi-platform release in the sense that it was on both Xbox, PS4, maybe the Switch, and PC. Compared to the first Tomb Raider reboot in 2013, first week sales are more than 70% down. Of course, these charts don't factor in digital sales, and digital is understood to be taking a large percentage of boxed market components. Nevertheless, it's not a huge week for Lara Croft. 63% of launch day sales came from PS4, whereas Xbox One accounted for the remaining 37%, so apparently it wasn't on the Switch. Not super surprising there. Spider-Man retains the #1. Now, from what I hear, most people still love Spider-Man. Is Spider-Man on is it on PC? I don't know if it is. I don't even know if it's on Xbox, honestly. So yeah, there's definitely some issues to all of this, where I kind of would still definitely want to play Spider-Man, but like if I could be convinced that it would get boring after a while. Even the first E3 shots of it, I looked like, oh, you're just going to be doing a lot of quick time events. So it's probably a game where you'd want to run around and just do the story and not do any side quests, or not do too many of them.
This guy's toast.
Compared to something like the Borderlands series, where you're really disadvantaging your experience if you don't do all the side quests. Rock Paper Shotgun has actual news, I think. A proposed South Korean law targets sexual harassment in games like Overwatch. Let's see. South Korean lawmakers are considering a bill that would make sexual harassment in online games like Overwatch punishable in court. Now, the thing about South Korea to remember is South Korea is an incredibly strict country, and so if it were to to ever reunify with North Korea, if the United States were ever to pull out. And this is probably the best argument ever on why the United States should always have a close relationship with South Korea, at least for probably several decades. South Korea would become more strict and merge with North Korea, and it would just be a unified Korea under basically totalitarian
There
rule.
once was a man from Gilneas.
South Korea is the country where you are fined heavily for chewing gum. I think it's just chewing gum. I don't think it's spitting out gum or littering or anything like that. It's just, I think at this point, just chewing gum. Also, I would say South Korea's population is on the elderly side. Japan is worse. Japan is now mostly 70% 70 or older, according to, I think, the news story I just recently saw. But yeah, they're aging, so they don't understand video games in one simplistic, just quick way to put it. They just don't understand video games. I'm gonna come over here and play this. So this could be really bad. There's a translated quote here that says there is currently low awareness about how sexual harassment is in online games is wrong. So the idea of the idea of it going from the people who are playing video games aren't educated to let's just make it illegal is a big problem. It also is worth mentioning that in Korea there is some of its own brand of the SJW third wave feminists that are probably pushing this. Here's a group was quoted that says, "In a sexist country like ours, it would be impossible for a person like Diva to appear because she would be forced out of the professional gaming scene by abuse." So, like, we probably, I would really hate to see South Korea implement these laws. I kind of hate to see so many countries implement totalitarian laws. That making something illegal doesn't really solve a problem. If there is a real problem, which often there isn't when it comes to this SJW stuff, then why not start with education? Like, when we learned that germs exists, we didn't pass a law that said you had to wash your hands. We educated people on why it was important to wash your hands, and now for the vast majority of people, if at all possible, they wash their hands because they know it's something they should do. If you try to force people, they're just going to resent it. And like, prohibition just never works for anything. I played poorly there. Let's move on from this article though. Eurogamer has a similar story. Shadow of the Tomb Raider physical sales down by Tomb Raider reboot, and it couldn't catch Spidey. The week for this list that they're quoting here, this would be the UK Eurogamer list, shows that the week was kind of bad in general. Number 1 is Spider-Man 2 is Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Number 3 is NBA 2K19. So if your third game, in my opinion, is NBA 2K, you've already are not getting the best of releases, and then it's like Crash Trilogy and Mario Kart 8 Deluxe and GTA 5 is number 6. Elder Scrolls Online is number 8. Lego The Incredibles is number 9. Super Mario Odyssey is number 10. PC Gamer has an article. Interplay co-founder Brian Fargo wants to buy it back. Fargo said that if The Bard's Tale 4 was a hit, he'll take a shot at acquiring the company that he helped found in 1983. I believe Interplay would be owned by THQ Nordic, or at least parts of it would be owned by THQ Nordic right now. Let's see. Weapon +2. Attack. Yeah, play this first. In the turn. I'm not sure that that's really the smart move, though. Going back and buying your company. If you lost your company in the first place, going back and trying to buy it back is probably not a good plan, because unless you can really say, I'm older and I'm wiser now and I'm actually capable of making sure this company succeeds and that I don't lose it in the first again. On the other hand, Interplay being owned by somebody who would do something with their license is an interesting idea, because Interplay is the creators of Battle Chess, and a new Battle Chess would be an interesting idea. I believe Interplay also were the creators of several other games, such as well, that was a victory. Did I need a victory? I think Interplay made like maybe the Dungeon Keeper. No, I don't know. Maybe Interplay didn't make that much. Let's see. Let's see if we can Google search Interplay and see a list. Interplay Wikipedia. And list of games. Lawsuits, Kickstarters. Ignoring its problems. Let's see, Alone in the Dark, Another World, Atomic Bomberman. These are the games they would have released, but maybe not don't own the full rights to. I am not making any progress at all today. I'm supposed to be playing priest cards, and I'm supposed to get one more mage victory. Supposed to be playing weapons. Baldur's Gate, Battle Chess 2, Chinese Chess, Battle Chess 4000, Battle Chess King of Games. Didn't realize there were that many Battle Chess games. They probably didn't all come to PC. Carmageddon, Clay Fighter, Crazy Cars, Death on the Fly, Descent 2, Descent 3, Dungeon Master 2, the sequel to the popular Dungeon Master, but apparently not Dungeon Master 1? See, I thought something. Earthworm Jim, Fallout 2, Fallout Brotherhood of Steel, Fallout Tactics, Free Space. There's a list of games here, certainly, that I'm not sure a person who lost control of Interplay should be allowed to take it back. Like Mario Teaches Typing and Mario's Game Gallery, certainly that was licensed by Nintendo, so that one come back. MDK, MDK2, Messiah, Mummy, Tomb of the Pharaoh, a lot of really, really old games. Planescape Torment, SimCity Enhanced, Star Trek 25th Adventure, several Star Trek games, older ones. Yeah, again though, license on those games would not allow you to really bring them back. Yeah. So looking at the list, I'm not sure Interplay really is even too much of a company to own, and very possibly has been split up into different licenses and different problems, so he may not own much, even if he could buy back some of it. Okay, well, it's been another hour or so this is a good point to break up this recording. Of course, we're still very much stuck here until at least one daily quest is done. But that's, I guess, alright, because I also have a ton of news to still talk about, too. That's it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend to follow me on any social media sites, there's a bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.